Hey Salesforce people, my name is Aditya Karade and I welcome you all to the real-time Salesforce, where we learn scenarios from the real-time projects. So in this video, I am going to share you a real-time scenario which I have just implemented in my current project. The scenario is whenever the category code, which is a picklist field on knowledge, is populated or changed, the data categories should be assigned to that article automatically. So, we are going to achieve this scenario using 3 steps. First, we are going to create 2 custom metadata types. First is KM category group mapping with 2 fields, category name and group name. Second is KM category code categories metadata type with 3 fields, category code, category list and isActive, which is a checkbox. Then we are going to create a trigger on knowledge object, a trigger and a trigger handler class. So let's go to our Salesforce org and check what are the data categories and groups have been created for this scenario. So here, as you can see, we have 2 data category groups. First is product line. If we click on it, we can see 3 categories inside that group. And if we click on issue type, then we can see again 3 types of categories inside issue type. Now let's create custom metadata types. To save our time, I have already created 2 custom metadata types. First is KM category group mapping and second is KM category code categories. Let's open KM category group mapping. So here I have created this custom metadata type, and inside this metadata type I have created 2 fields. First is category name and second is group name. Both are of text type. Let's check what are the records inside this metadata type. So as you can see, we have total 6 records inside this metadata type, and these 6 records are nothing but the data categories we have in this org. So let's click on any one of the record and let's see what does each record represents. So here each record represents a category and the group which it belongs to. In this case, the category configuration belongs to issue type data category group. Now let's check what the other metadata type consists. So this is the other metadata type, which is KM code categories. This metadata type consists 3 fields, that is category code, category list and isActive. Category code is of text type, category list is of long text and isActive is a checkbox. So let's check what are the records inside this metadata type. So here we can find 5 records. Here we find 5 records which each representing the value of picklist from the knowledge object, that is category code. So let's click on the first record. Here we can see this record represents if the category code on the knowledge object, if it is DC0011, then assign these categories, that is industrial automation and configuration, to that article. And isActive represents if this data category group is active or not, which is active in this case. So now let's take a look into our trigger. So I have written this trigger on knowledge object, which is calling this method called processCategory assignment from assignDataCategories to ToArticleHandler. I am passing these parameters to this handler. First is Trigger.new, second is Trigger.oldMap and Trigger.isUpdate. Now let's take a look to in our trigger handler. So in this handler, this is the method processCategory assignments, which is accepting 3 parameters. Let's dive deeper. Let's check what is this first step, that is load category to group mapping. So here I am creating a first map of string and string. I am iterating all the fetch data from this metadata type called KM category group mapping. Then I am putting all the fetch data into the map which I have just created called category to group map. Next, I am fetching all the records from my second metadata type, that is KM category code categories. So first I have created a map of string versus list of string. Then I am iterating all the records fetched from KM categories, code categories, metadata type, which includes category code, category list, and is active. Next, I am checking if it is active, and if the category list is not blank, then I am creating a list of string called categories. Then whatever the value the category list has, I am splitting it using the comma which it contains. Then I am trimming it and storing it in a string variable called trimmed. Then I'm checking if trimmed is not blank, then add all the trimmed values in categories list. Then in this map, I'm putting key as the category of the current article and all the categories which are trimmed from the category list of that metadata type. Then I am fetching all the articles which needs to be processed whenever this trigger gets executed. So for that I have created a set of article IDs to process. Then I am iterating all the triggering records one by one, and I'm checking if the article's category code is null, or it is not the latest version of the article, or it is not in the draft status. Then execute this code. Now I do not want to execute anything, then I will simply say continue to the next line. Here I am checking if the value of the boolean is false. If it is false, that means this is an insert operation. Or if the old map contains the current article ID and the category code of the current article ID has been changed and it is not as equal as the previous category code, that means this is an update operation. So in simple way, even if it is an insertion or update operation, this code inside if block will work for both operations, where I am adding all the current article IDs into that set of article IDs to process. Now in the case of update operation, as the category code has been changed for the articles, we need to delete the current assigned data categories for that article. So for that I'm checking if this is an update operation and the article IDs to process is not null. Then create a new data category selection where the parent ID is in the set of article IDs to process. Then I'm checking if the list of data category selection is not empty, then delete the existing selection. That means I'm deleting all the categories which has been assigned to the article previously. If anything error comes up, that will be cached inside this cache block. Next, I have deleted all the old data categories which were assigned to this article. Now I have to assign new data categories. For that I am creating a list of data category selection and I'm checking if the article ID belongs to this set of IDs, that is article IDs to process. If it does not belong, then perform this block of code, but I do not want to perform, then I will just say continue. Then I am here creating a list of string, that is categories to assign. Here from this map I am getting all the list of categories using the articles category code. Then once all the list of categories has been fetched, I am checking if the categories to assign string list is null. If this list is null, then perform this block of code, but I do not want to perform anything, then I will simply say continue. Here I am iterating all the categories one by one and I am fetching their group name from category to group map. So the category group name for that category will come and will be stored in string, that is group name. So if the group name is not null, then in this selection to insert list which I have created earlier, which is of data category selection type, I am adding a new selection of data categories to it, where the parent ID is the current article ID And the data category group name is the same group name which I am fetching from the category to group map using category name. And at last I am adding the category name to the data category name. In last, I am checking if the selection to insert list is not empty, then insert the selection to insert list, and if any error occurs, catch it in this catch block. So this is all about the trigger and its handler. Now let's check our scenario if it is working in real time or not. So I will go to the UI. I will click on new to create a new article. Here I will fill the title. The URL name will get populated automatically. Then I will choose a category code and I will save the record. So here, tada, automatically two data categories has been assigned to this article based on the category code. So this operation is happening in background using our trigger and the metadata types which we have created earlier. So let's check and verify if it is working for other category code as well. So I have chosen another category and just refreshing the page. As you can see, the data categories now has been changed. Now it is industrial automation and configuration and installation. Now you might be wondering from where these data categories are coming. Let me show you that. So these are the records under this metadata type called category code categories, and if I click on DC0015, then here we can see the category list is industrial automation, configuration and installation. So those same categories which are under that metadata type category record. So this is the real-time scenario which I have just completed in my current project. I will provide all the necessary code in the description from where you can copy it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and do let me know in the comments. Also, please share it with your friends and colleagues. Stay tuned for such more real-time scenarios. Till then, keep blazing!